I just realized that it'd be better for me to clear my throat before going live. Anyway, it's daily game design time, and I just had a revelation. Because Mike and I have been kind of struggling, or I have been struggling, and Mike has been very supportive through the struggle in relation to community projects in particular. And at this moment, community projects is an end game trigger. The idea is that if one player collects or buys or supports 3 community projects, then the game ends, and that player at the end of their turn is the winner. So we've been having some creative ideas about, well, how can you incentivize players to go? Because there was definitely a time when we noticed that during playtesting, community projects was not attractive enough to spend a whole turn on. So we reduced the cost, and then I added a round-based figure to as the cost, rather than a fixed number that could just be that could be paid at any time. So there was no real incentive. There was no real encouragement to go early. Here there is. What I have a fear of, though, is that if players decide not to, if they're too busy building their engines, if they decide not to go in the first round, they might never go. They might just never go. And I don't love that idea. To me, that means, yeah, there's some weird psychology playtesting problem where I wouldn't want it to be I wouldn't want it to be the case that it becomes really obvious that you have to rush it, and if you do rush it at the start of the game, then the other player is just kind of defending the whole time. I guess in this case, I don't know what defending would look like. But anyway, I think there are some improvements here to this card. I'm not saying it's perfect. I want to say the costs are probably off a little bit. But what I like is it's simple, it's clean, and there is more pressure now. There's more time pressure to go here. Because the only reason somebody would pay 16 at the end is if they've invested already, right? In weeks 1 and 2. Like, that's the only reason there's any motivation to spend 16 on community projects. At the same time, it can't be so low, the expense can't be so low that it's just like easy and obvious and this is the thing that everybody's going to do. So I think this is a playtesting question. But the point here is to say that some of the ideas we're having for getting some other little elements, like kind of mini mechanics involved, those we can actually save for later, or we can save for alternatives. So this was the previous community projects card, something like this. And yeah, 18 feels like a lot. So anyway, I reduced the cost. But here's the overall idea. So this community projects card could just be as simple as, pay your stuff, be the first one to 3. It's that simple. And I guess I wouldn't need These could be 1, 2, 3, I suppose. 1, 2, 3. And so another version of community projects could be to send volunteers, right? So these could be just different styles of community projects. And what I also realized is that the mayor's favor cards don't have to be a win condition. They can be or an end game trigger. They can be one that cycles through. They can be one option. They're still the cards are still going to be there. I think they're still important to gameplay. But they don't like they don't have to be an end game trigger every game. So I think this is a potentially interesting idea. Let me shrink this a little bit, because I want all this to come down and for us to have some more to have space again for the sign. Because I don't see the utility here of like the over. I don't see needing to have yeah, I don't see needing to have another mechanic here, especially if it's like, you know, we've got a bunch to choose from, or at least there are several possibilities here. Here's just one in this game. Cool. You can just buy. You can just spend money to support community projects. In this version, what you'll be doing is sending meeples. Huh. The thing is now there's only one way to earn. There's only one way except for Syrup Inc. and the gift shop to have the meeples, the extra meeples to place here. I mean, there's only there's one mayor's favor. Actually, let me do it this way. So I think that this is probably not enough. There's also there's no way to block in the way that I have this set up right here. So it still need to be an activation, I think, maybe. But it could just be that there is just a larger number of these necessary. Like 6 feels maybe excessive, but I'm not sure. Right? I'll center these. Had a really nice game night last night. Let's see. There's a friend coming back who works with kids, and anyway, cool guy. So I have some games I think he'd appreciate just because. Oops. How did I do that? I'm just gonna drop these in. Like 5 meeples? I feel like that might not be enough. So the challenge here will be to have conditions apart from placing meeples. Right? At least I think this is possible. So this is another form of community projects. And so it could just be that that I have a variety of community project cards, and that's just kind of the you just swap out. Maybe there are 3 community projects. Like one of them is the mayor's favor cards. So maybe you just draw 2 community project cards at the start of the game, and those are the end game triggers. That's what I'm thinking here. I feel like it's a reasonable idea and a way to build in some replayability, because each one would feel really different. Like if this one was all about dropping your extra meeples in here, that's a very different type of situation than paying money to support community projects. So that's the thinking. Like it would just add a different type of pressure, a different thing to focus on, which I think is pretty cool as an idea. I think I unfortunately got rid of one of the icons I was using. So I'll try this again, because I think the extra worker idea is a decent one. Right? If it's placing an extra worker that's going to matter here. I feel like that's potentially interesting. So place this guy in here. It's a little annoying that, I guess I'll just ungroup these. Group these first, put them on the center line, and then add this little guy. Now I can shrink. So I like this extra meeples thing. The only issue that extra meeples, well, I don't have a good name for them. Right now they're just called extra meeples. There's only 3 places to get them. Whereas it's possible to get money from a bunch of different places. So this one makes more sense to me. Well, hey, Mike. Potential idea: have each of the drop spots for meeples give different bonuses. Each color can go on them, but someone has it's unavailable. Some spots are slightly more lucrative. I like that. So, would you imagine? Because I can easily do that, right? Like one of these can be a cube, one of these could be, what could they be? Like one of them could be like this. Ooh, I like that idea a lot. So here I think I have a couple of examples already. So it's just some different stuff. So a couple of them could be money. I guess what I would wonder is, can they choose which benefit they want and they just cover it up and take that benefit? Or like one of them can be, like this for free, basically. Right, so they don't have to pay 3 money. So that one is obviously more beneficial. Actually, I guess the pink is a better replacement here. Another one can be a cube. A single cube is a little bit sad, but it is what it is. you can use your extra meeple to block a spot someone else might want. Get something you need. Do it because you need to be competitive on the win condition, or use your extra. So are you still saying like this could be, this wouldn't necessarily be by color, but it's the first player to, ooh, ouch. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, so these would feel random, and they wouldn't have a color requirement. Is that kind of what you're thinking? Because I like that idea a lot. Yeah, that's a pretty neat idea. I can imagine a couple different flavors of this, actually. Like, I could see one that's still a race to, so how would I, well, this could just go up here now. Oops. And I would want another one of these banners. So this could sit right under here. This guy will sit right in here. Okay, it is in the center, so that's already good. So it could be just do this. Oops. Yeah, I like that a lot. Let me think here. I guess this is in the wrong spot. And this would be more like, or if you really don't want it to be extra meeples only, you can give them all symbols. And if you get 3 of the same symbol, you've completed a community project and win. So, Mike, I had, I think what I'm thinking about right now is having a variety of community project cards. So I think any of these could be, like, these could just be another, you know, every idea you're pumping out right now could simply be they could have the potential just to have another, we just have another card in the game. So yeah, this is a neat idea. And this would be more like 5. So I I like having this extra meeple one, except for the possibility that now it just forces players to go to the 2 spots that nobody was going to before, but now sort of just mainly go to those. So yeah, I can imagine a set collection, maybe. Yeah, maybe a set collection thing. I don't see why not. It's just but I think I see what you mean. Actually, first I want to distribute these evenly now that this is not by color. Yeah, because it'd be nice to have, let's say, like 4 or 5 community project cards or more. I mean, this is also expansion territory, right? Like, just have a kind of large number of um, a large number, maybe 5 or 6 eventually, that that change up the flavor of the gameplay. Using line. I think I slept around, I don't know, 11:45 or something, 11:30. Woke up around 5, and so I'm, for some reason, unfortunately, I'm feeling it. I have another like 10 meetings with students today, so I'll have to sneak in a nap at some point. So this is cool. I just want to add a gray box here as information. Yeah, I think this would be welcomed variety. I'm pretty sure. I mean, why would a player not appreciate some different scoring objectives? So there could be a couple of these, a couple of the green ones. The green ones are more valuable if somebody did the math, I guess. But I even like what you're saying about yeah, about just covering symbols, because the symbols could just be random. I'm not sure if that's what you mean. In other words, almost like a tic-tac-toe. So that'd be kind of nuts. I don't know how that would make any sense thematically, but if there was a grid and you just had to get 3 in a row, so there was like a little blocking game as well. Uh, is that literally what you meant? Or it's just like, hey, there are 3 symbols out there. If you get all 3, cool, you win. It would be kind of cute to have like a get 3 in a row kind of thing. Like that'd be a lot of pressure, right? Actually, I kind of like that idea. Yeah. So I think that would be a cube. That'd be a cube based one. So instead of sending a cube to the grant office, you'd probably send a cube to start. Oh, this would be like a building project. It'd be weird to think of syrup as like part of a building project, but maybe it works. Or like you're kind of serving tables or something like that. Yeah, so the green one, I can put a couple green ones out here. And I like the money, of course. Um, as a benefit. It's that green. And then I think you're right that having some that are like less cool. So like these could just be 1 money. And then sad story, but ooh, yeah, I like this. I like this because um maybe there should actually be more than Maybe the cost, there probably shouldn't be so many that pay out, actually, I'm thinking. Right? And we don't have to make it too sad. Like just minus $1 seems fine. So it seems a little weird if, no, I was gonna say it seems a little weird if you could win and just gain a lot of benefits in winning. But that just means the other person is like not putting effort, right? It means they're just kind of letting things go. Is 5, I think it should be more than half, right? So it should probably be 6. That could be a lot though, right? That's a lot. It's the same issue with it's the same issue with the community projects right now, that there is an even number. Yeah. More negatives. Yeah, like I think so these are +1. Well, you send an extra meeple up here, right? And you get, this is a exchanging for a meeple. So this is a -1. This is a 0. This is a +1. This is a 0. And then this is a -3. Yeah, yeah, right. So I like that. Yeah, majority good, but eventually you'll have to take something bad. You just don't want to take these guys, because this is actually very costly. If I add, like if I make these. Oh wait, one of these. One can be a cube. I haven't put any cubes in here. I don't mind that they're the same negative cost. I think that's actually okay. Because if it's bad, at least it's the same bad. If it's good, it's different good. And you might be motivated to rush in here and pick up some of these things. Yeah. Yeah, I see that. I like that. I feel like that's good. Let's see, what other benefits? So I haven't put any cubes there. I think that's about it, right? Just money, and then the benefit of adding to your evaporator. Who knows how that makes any sense, but no problem. All games are abstractions, am I right? Okay, that's a fun thing. I actually am gonna attempt. I'm gonna attempt this idea of like a. Yeah, this is superior to, like, well, these are my color. Definitely. And this is the volunteers community projects one. This one is just more like where did it go? This one's just more about philanthropy, right? Just funding projects. This one's about actually sending volunteers to support the project. So I actually like that. I like that a lot. But again, if this is only extra meeples, and I don't want to find a way to like, I don't want to find a way to communicate that it could be extra meeples or something. Like I feel like that would get, the card is already full, so I have to figure out. Wait, why is this? Is this not in the middle? It is. Oh, this is the way to do it. Okay. Now I'll move it to the back. Yeah, maybe to even these out, I'll just put 2 over here. Because then the green spots are technically most lucrative if people are paying attention. Then pink and the payout of money are effectively equal. And then it's just, well, this is bad, but it's, yeah, it's, well, -3 could sting. So yeah, that could be a real thing. I feel like these grant office abilities are not super exciting. So I feel like at some point I'll, oh, this one's not even relevant because community projects don't cost this anymore. Yikes, just one worker for community projects. I feel like that might be a little much. Okay. The grant office, they need to be super powerful benefits. I think they're okay. And I reduced the cost, so I think that's important. But yeah, that's fun. That's a fun issue here. Again, we're talking about adding more components to the game, which is not my favorite thing. That's another reason why I want to get rid of this guy. I don't love it as, I mean, you could have a crazy powerful turn, which is awesome, but we're up to like who knows how many workers. So if each player gets, you know, if it's late in the game, they each start with 3 and they each get an upgrade. They each get an extra 1, so they got 4. And maybe they're working on community projects, so there's like maybe 6 out here, that's 10. And then they get the windfall of 5 extra workers next turn. So is that another 5 that I would need to add? So we're up to 15 workers. So I don't really like where that is headed. But with the community project, but oh, that's true. They could just place. I could just limit it. I mean, I just limit it to 1 per turn or something like that. Do I have a way of saying that? You're right. That would just be. I don't know though. If they're not, if no, you know, if the other player is not paying attention. That's a really good point. Oh, that's obvious. Yeah, just like, bam, drop 5 meeples on there. That's kind of funny. That'd be like an expert knowledge move. Like if you know, it'd be kind of interesting to see how many people thought of that. Of course, I do think it's not cool. I think we need to, yeah, I'd like to figure out how to keep that from happening. You know, the way I've done this in the past in these other cards is to have a yellow a yellow cost, and if I just show one, that means they can only place one. If, however, like on the gift shop, it's 1 times infinity. So this always means place 1. So I think if I just actually, so this should be yellow anyway. It just means place 1. Which kind of yellow is this? So we do have a way to prevent that from happening. What is going on? Whoa. Oh, are these not centered? Is that what happened? Oh. Yeah, I like where this is going. And this guy just needs to line up. That looks a little goofy. Oops. Yeah, so I think of course that one, you know, somebody would wanna or would need to look up in the rule book what, you know, how the description of this community projects thing, and it would just have a limitation written in. Place up to 1, probably. Place up to 1 extra meeple here or extra worker here. So that's cool. And I really do like leaving this simple for now. Especially if some of these other community projects cards seem a little more complex. Is that more? No, this is not more complex, but totally different flavor. So the last one, let's see. So the other one I was thinking, Mike, I'm not sure if you heard my comment earlier. I was thinking to make even the mayor's favor cards an optional endgame trigger / win con, because it could just be another community project. So that's the you know, these could all have names, I guess. But that would be the brown noser one. If you show up to all of the mayor's events, that's the one community project, because in a way that's community, like supporting the mayor's events. And then whatever this is the volunteers one, the other one's the philanthropy one. So that's already 3 different you know, if two of the 3 came out, but I still think there's a reason to have 1 or 2 more. This sounds, yeah, this is kind of exciting. Just building, it's just one more layer of variability that I think sounds kind of fun. So my first meeting today is at 8. Right now it's 7, almost 7:20. So at least I'm not rushed in the same way I was yesterday. Um, well, okay, so if Mayor's Favor was one of the static, one of the one of the pre-programmed win cons, gives you a three-way push-pull on the game end. It is a totally different way of interacting with the game. I do see that. I guess I wouldn't mind. Where does it say? Oh, I guess the town hall does. It is a nice. Oh, like here it is. Maybe it is good just to leave it and just have the community projects being the one that swaps out. I like that. I think that's a fair observation because it is just a. I don't know though. I think there's the only issue with that I see is that the mayor's favor cards are always beneficial, and they're always something to compete over. So just to trigger a win con or a win an end game um, situation because you're doing something you kind of want to be doing anyway. Um, it's still an issue. I feel. I mean, whether Mayor's favor cards, whether the win con is static or not, I feel like that's still an issue. Um, I think it's actually more of a game speed thing, the pace of the game. Because one thing I added, or I not added, but changed, is that I reduced the number of cubes in round 2. So hopefully just the depletion of the sugar bush, that in-game trigger, I hope that one would become more relevant. Anyway, I'm gonna try adding one more here, and this one is just gonna be squares like this. Okay, and these can be non-transparent. They'll just be white. They'll have the border, and oh, you know what? I think this should probably be, no, that doesn't need to be yellow, but I think it would be this situation because it creates a little tension with the grant office. Unfortunately, the grant office is already not doing super well, right? That's why I reduced the costs and that kind of thing. And I can put the WinCon description somewhere else for now. Actually, there's plenty of room here, I think. So 3 might be a little, I don't know. 3 might be too few, right? If it's just a 3x3 and it's literally tic-tac-toe, I don't feel great about that. 4 is probably better, or I guess it's kind of a question of, is it a 3x3 grid and 3 in a row? Is it a 4x4 grid and 4 in a row, or is it a 4x4 grid and 3 in a row? There's no reason to agonize over that right now, but I mean, ultimately that would probably be a playtesting question. But I think 4 is something doable. Actually, maybe Oh yeah, true. I think it's always going to be one. I would guess it's always just going to be one, because you oh. Yeah, the only one that would really mess this up, I mean, that would need rules clarification, is right now the only time that any number of cubes greater than one, any number moves to the grant office, or a number greater than one moves to the grant offices from the warehouse. So I think the same expectation applies here, that what this means is, like, I would just give it a yellow background and basically just have it be a one, only one at a time. Yeah, one at a time. Yeah, I don't like, yeah, I don't like the what is it, cats or whatever happens. I forget what happens. What you call that in tic-tac-toe? Or just the automatic. Although with this, with a bigger number like this, um, there are more ways to set up an automatic win as well. If it is if it's a 3 cube thing, because it could also become, right, like you're saying, like it just becomes impossible. So all of these should be winnable somehow. So it would either be it would be get 4 in a row, for example, or like 8 cubes or something like that, right? It'd be the first to 8 cubes or the first to 4 in a row. I think there's probably a way to communicate that. Um, but I'll be right back. Huh. Yeah, let me add. Wait, that's not the right yellow. Or is this just transparent? It is. If some of these get kind of too complicated or like weirdly involved, then I think the other win cons just become more attractive, right? Which would be a little bit sad, I guess. So let's see how to represent this. It can be, can do it this way for sure. I can group these. Shrink both. I know I have a couple of slashes somewhere. Yeah, this is kind of cool, right? Like, that looks a little annoying. But it communicates the idea. How does it mean less used? Just put a difficulty rating on the back of the card. Yeah. I think it's like, I think it's just the sense like of something like I don't really want to deal with that. I think that's what I'm highlighting. But it's, I guess it's up to the other player to force you to deal with it, right? So it's just, if nobody goes for it, cool. Like we don't have to worry. If somebody starts going for it, and that's the same with all the community projects, right? If somebody starts working on it, you better get busy. You got to block. You got to keep up. You know, defend or whatever. So I think it'd be something like this. Oh, actually, I kind of wanted to. Well, this is ugly. I can't say that I'm a graphic design expert, but the idea is there. You know what? If I've said this a few times, I feel, or at least I've maybe in like a Facebook post or something like that. But if somebody had the rulebook editing and graphic design skills to lay out rulebooks, I think those two skill sets together are crazy lucrative. Because writing rulebooks is hard, and certainly laying them out appropriately and clearly is hard. So, oh, if you can do both, that'd be incredible. So what I wanted to do here was just say something like I'll just bring this down. Just like 6 cubes. Did I say 6? No, I meant, I feel like 8. The thing is, would you ever get 8 cubes? Probably not, right? Because, um, well, this is taking attention away from the grant office again, or even more, which I feel like is a little bit sad. Yeah. Glad that it looks like the stream has stayed solid today. I'm excited about that. It looks like I'm approaching an hour. I wonder why. Yeah. Yeah, I'm at 57, so I will transition away soon just to prep for my meetings. But this has been a fun little adventure. Maybe it's 7 cubes. I'm just gonna put 7 for fun. And it is, this needs to have the little arrow. I feel good about the consistency of the meaning of these arrows. I kind of feel like I hit a limit of, of ideas when it comes to like buildings. I feel like I ran out of ideas for buildings a while ago, but at the same time I have the sense that there are probably like a million buildings that are possible. Just not all would be great or would work well. Um, so it's just a challenge of, actually, let me do it like this. It's a challenge of just picking the right, like, kind of deciding when to stop, right? Because I feel like at this point now if there's this variety on top of the mayor's favor card variety, like that's a pretty good amount of variability just in these two different types of pressure. And so I don't feel the need to have more buildings, although maybe at some point there should be more. There probably should be more even now. So I don't know. There are definitely more possible ones, certainly more of those. This just looks so ugly to me. But it doesn't have to look good, it just has to work. So what is this? This could be like, it could pretty much be any building. I'm just gonna maybe put a school or something, or I don't know, or not a wall. This could be anything. What could it be? Or a garden? I'm gonna make a garden. These people are putting maple syrup into the garden. Where is a top-down garden? This is close. I think I can search for this. Top-down garden. Nope. here you can technically make stuff too. Magic Media, I think. Graphics. Top-down view of vegetable garden. Maybe flower garden, but I'm just going to try this. See what it comes up with. Oh, that's an idea. It seems to me this is kind of about building a thing. I guess you could build a community center, or a, like you're saying, like a food bank. Yeah, that's an idea. Why not? Oops. I keep. What do I hit that does that? It's not that. Oops. There's some weird thing. Oh, I just made another copy. There's some weird thing that no. That's not it. I make these post-its and I don't know where they come from. What was that? I'm kind of tempted to leave it for now. That looks really weird. Top-down view of vegetable garden. Go again. Of square vegetable garden. Make sure that it's like that. I feel like this is getting... It's getting closer. What in the world? What are these supposed to be? What is this? And I'm going to say 4x4 square 4x4 vegetable garden. There's no way it knows what to do here. That's fine. I don't really, not worried about it. Just need a placeholder image for now. It actually looks kind of cute. And then we'll just give these guys some transparency. Yeah, sure. Maple syrup in the garden for now. I still like the idea of maybe serving tables at the food bank. Actually, let me do this. Top-down view of square 4x4 tables. Maybe cafeteria tables. Because this is probably it probably makes more sense. But I like the idea of a garden. I think that's a cute idea. That is not it. Anyway, to be continued. I think this is a cute option for now. Well, and that's it for me today. Mike, thanks for hanging out as usual. Appreciate your input. And I will see you and the rest of you soon. Yeah, have a good one.